Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my second day in Chicago. It's just gone 6:30 and it's daybreak. And it's very cold out there. I'll just get the temperature up for you and have a look at this. Negative 19 degrees. Okay, I'm going to get some breakfast and then we're off to the planetarium today. Nice and chilly. I've been told there's a bakery on the corner where you can get a good breakfast. The hotel, the restaurant, is closed for renovation, so they can only do toast and bagels. I want a little bit more than that. Everyone's up and about, it seems. That's where I'm going to have breakfast. Let's have a look at what I've got, Eggs, bacon, potatoes and toast. Not very good bacon, but it's all I got to eat at the moment. And a coffee that I had to pour myself. At 8:45 I'm being picked up by a taxi to take me to the planetarium. So I'm going to head back to the hotel for an hour. Somebody forgot their bike. There we go, it's Lake Michigan. And this is the planetarium I told you about. I think I got here about half an hour early. But I'll be fine, I'm nice and warmly dressed. I'll just stand here and admire the scenery. It's much warmer in here. They open in about 20 minutes. Hey, big bird. Here we've got some boot prints of some famous astronauts. The first one is James Lovell, Eugene Cernan, and Harrison Schmitt. What's this over here? Dream big. Huh. There you go. And there's Jim Lovell. Oh, nearly fell over. When Jim Lovell was a high school junior, he took the train to Chicago to buy ingredients to make some rocket fuel. The clerk of the chemical company asked him if he realized that these items would make gunpowder. Lovell and his friends found the ingredients, packed them tightly, and sent a rocket 80 feet into the air before it blew up. For his two friends, shooting off a rocket was a stunt. For Lovell, it was part of a lifelong fascination that would eventually take him to the moon. This thing's kind of weird. This is like a hologram. And different pictures keep coming up behind it. Apparently Lovell missed out on being one of the first men in space because he had too much pigment in his liver. But he got to go again, and So, it all turned out for him. And there's some interesting artifacts in the photo. You got some model rockets here. Is that it?
Land tight, we call this the slowest roller coaster ride in the Chicago land area. But what we're really going up into is the oldest working planetarium in the Western Hemisphere. So you can do the math, it's pretty easy. It was built for the Chicago Academy of Science in 1913. So now it is 101 years old as of, that's my bad joke this week.
Yeah.
But what we're really going to see up here is the night sky as we would have seen it from Chicago in 1913. So one full turn of the sphere will show us a full calendar year.
Okay.
And all the stars are represented by 692 hand-drilled holes. So very painstaking work. But take a look up and take a stab at it. Do you think we can see this many stars in Chicago in 2014? No, why is that?
Probably light pollution.
Light pollution, exactly. So, what we can do, we can actually look right over this way. We can make it out. This was the skyline of Chicago 101 years ago. And this was the tallest building at the time, the Hotel North Park.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, it's, you know, a perfectly fine building, but next to the Sears Tower, because I still refuse to call it Willis, and beautiful skyline of Chicago today. You can see where we're getting all that light from. It makes it possible for us to see on an average clear night, which we have not had in Chicago in quite a while, about a maximum of 10 stars.
That was the outward sphere. So I couldn't do more filming, it's just too dark to see anything. Okay, we're back in here now. And another countdown. Could be the same countdown. Which rocket was that one though? There's Mr. Lovell again. I wasn't aware of this. They actually died. There was a gas leak or something. Oh, fire ignites, not a gas leak. I know there have been a couple of rockets explode, one on takeoff, I think, and one on re-entry. But I wasn't aware that happened to Apollo 1. This is how much I'd weigh if I were on the moon. This is in pounds, I gather.
So if you were on the moon, you could weigh 25 pounds.
Wow. I'm on the moon! Look at me! Okay, how does this thing work? Okay, I gotta push that one. Oh, yeah, okay, I got it. Oh, wow, this is fascinating. I'm walking on the moon. I want to go this way now. That's so cool. Okay, your turn to land on the moon.
Move the stick left, right to step through the...
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
A few final...
Who needs instructions?
100 feet down to 60, 50 feet down to 25.
No!
Okay, you had a little trouble with that landing, so we're going to give you another shot, starting at 500 feet. Good luck, and here you go.
400 feet down at forward.
You need to increase power and push the throttle forward.
Come on.
You need to decrease power and pull the throttle back.
300 feet. Heads up. We're still climbing. Let's pull the throttle back.
I pulled the throttle back.
Looks good. 400 feet. Heads up. We're still climbing. Let's pull the
How can
throttle back.
I still be climbing?
Forward's okay. 30 feet. Down at 4. Forward's
Come
okay.
on.
Lateral looks good. 15 feet. Down at 2. Forward's okay. 10 feet. Down at 1. Forward's okay.
Perfect landing coming up.
Great landing. As soon as NASA starts a lunar program again, we'll send you an astronaut application. Come back soon and keep those skills sharp.
Design and use tools that can go there.
I wanted to be an astrophysicist someday. They use a big telescope to discuss the planets.
Let's have a look at our solar system. Let's go have a look at Mercury. Okay. Liquid core, molten iron and nickel. And here are the temperatures. Ooh. It's a little bit warmer than here at the moment. And down here we got Mercury, with an average temperature of 333 degrees Fahrenheit. Stop complaining about the cold, you Americans. Here we got Venus, the hottest planet in our solar system. I wonder what God had in mind when he made all the planets. It's got liquid, nickel, iron, sulfur and oxygen. The atmosphere is nitrogen and trace gases and carbon dioxide. One planet day takes 117 Earth days. 67 million miles from the Sun. And here is a picture of Venus. Here we have a planet called Earth. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Sure, I'd like to live there.
Hey, we got a piece of the moon over here. Come on over and check it out.
Ah, someone's telling me to go check out the moon. And there's no picture of Earth there. It's a bit worrying. Where did the Earth go? I'm actually touching a piece of the moon. Wow. Here we have a planet called Mars. And Mars has 2 moons. And it's 142 million miles from the Sun, or 1.52 astronomical units, I think AU stands for.
Piece of dust, the second largest asteroid between Mars and Jupiter.
Hey, this is an actual piece of Mars. Check it out.
We think is from the prototype.
Apparently this is from Mars, this little piece of rock here. I have my doubts, but we'll just pretend it is. This is to make me feel special. I've touched Mars, Aren't I special?
1969, Mexico. A local villager.
And we get to touch something else.
Sold it to a commercial meteorite dealer who cut it into slices you see here.
This is from an asteroid. So, and here we have Jupiter. And Jupiter Has an average temperature of negative 161 Celsius, negative 256 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's, you need a jumper or two if you go there. And we're 500 million miles from the sun, 5.20 AU. And wow, that rotates pretty fast. And Saturn. And Saturn gets down to 189. The atmosphere is made out of hydrogen and helium. Ooh, nearly 1 billion miles. This is interesting. Compared to Jupiter, Saturn has no large, long-lived storms. However, roughly every 30 years a giant storm erupts in Saturn's northern hemisphere called the Great White Spot. Because of its white clouds, the storm sometimes encircles the whole planet. Uranus, that gets down to negative 220. And nearly 2 billion miles. A little bit heavier than Earth. And it takes 84 years to go around the Sun. Neptune apparently has 13 moons.
Represent the leftover bits and pieces from the outer solar system formation.
The planet day is 16 hours and 7 minutes. Well, you're not going to have too many birthdays on Neptune, are you? And nearly 3 billion miles from the Sun. And it gets down to negative 280. Pluto is actually known as a dwarf planet. I think it got declassified as being an actual planet a little while ago. It has 4 moons. And it takes 249 years to go around the Sun. Ooh, I didn't even see this rotating there. Hey, there's my home. I think this is called a Curiosity rover. They use it to explore Mars, what's it say? Yeah. Okay, well, there's Lake Michigan. This looks like Google Earth. Oh, this is a picture of Mars. Martian sunset. Ah, that looked awesome. Some of them are hard to see. One there as well. Margaret Bryan was a pioneering science educator. She taught science to young women, both in the schoolroom and through her books. Even though astronomy was a popular pastime, girls really studied it. In all her teaching, Miss Bryan emphasised that the wonders of the natural world were the work of God. How about that? And if you can name what this instrument is, I'll give you a jelly baby. It's actually called a telescopic quadrant, and it's used in astronomy. So it's used to measure the position of stars. So, how would anyone even conceive the idea to make something like this? And the fact for today: universities were a medieval invention, and between the years 1200 and 1450, more than 50 universities were founded all across Europe. The universities only admitted males, and students had to be able to speak and write Latin. All students, no matter where they came from, used this common language, which virtually nobody uses today, except maybe the Pope. So behind me is one of these classrooms that you'd find in one of these ancient universities. See all the pews there? And in front of me is this great big chair. I'll show you. So the teacher would sit in this chair and read out of this textbook, and wow. And if you want to, you can even play dress up. Well, here's how I look. There's some very ancient sundials. Whoa. They even have a year when it was invented. This one's really ancient. Time to get some lunch.
This is an easier circle.
This buzzer goes off when my food is ready. I've got a root beer again, and this is my view of Lake Michigan. That's a pizza with jack cheese and chicken. That should keep me going till dinner. That's an ancient model for planet movement. And it's in a foreign language too, so it's kind of hard to work out what they're saying. A lunar eclipse. I've seen a few of those in my life. About 4, I think. Last count. I think the Assyrians thought that lunar eclipse was an omen. The world of Islamic astronomy. It's very interesting. A lot of Muslim astronomers, apparently. And I think these are some of their instruments. There's not much more to see now. Okay. So the counter still goes up.
There shouldn't be any difference.
So the particles are passing right through
through your arm. They're actually going right through your arm. They're going right through the floor of the building, through the other side of the planet. Because it's like, there's very little obstruction. So we don't have to worry about these because a lot of them are absorbed or, our magnetic field protects us too. But
here are some pictures of some telescopes in extreme environments. This one's in Chile. The Atacama deserts. This one is at the South Pole. That one's in outer space. Hello. This is weird. Now that's a telescope. These telescopes are from the 16 and 1700s. And they give you a little description of some of them. And over here, I don't know what that is. Whoa, nice and cold out here. That's why I bought proper boots. Still gotta hang on to the handrail. Maybe not the smartest thing I've ever done. Okay. Well, I'm not sure whether I should catch a taxi or walk. It's only about a mile and it's really not that cold, not compared to yesterday. It's quite a view, eh? Lake Michigan and Chicago behind me. Okay, we got to go to the Chicago Skydeck now. Let's go. There's another view of Chicago for you.
This Friday, Dennis Stevenson and the
Well, I decided to get a taxi after all. I walked half a mile and I thought, nah, too cold. That's where we're going. Right up the top there. It's called a Skydeck. Another one of Chicago's famous attractions. Let's go inside. Good thing at this time of year there's no crowds. Well, maybe a little crowd.
As we're going to step to your right, welcome to the top.
Thank you. 103 stories up. Awesome view, eh? Believe it or not, That is a prison. And you see that concrete floor on top? That's their exercise yard. See, I took an audio tour and I'm finding out some pretty fascinating things. Another shot of Lake Michigan. I think it's between these two buildings there's Buckingham Fountain. It's one of the larger water fountains in the world. You can't see it, it's obscured by this big red building here. The building we're looking at now is called the Aeon Building. It was once the tallest building in the world, but it didn't hold that title for very long. Down here, Millennium Park. Which hopefully we will be seeing in the not too distant future. I guess that's why river cruises don't operate in winter.
It's kind of too bright in the background. So maybe we'll turn the flash on and focus.
You got pretty good zoom on this thing.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, that's really good.
What you're looking at now is Montrose Harbour. It's a long way away, so it's very hard to keep the camera steady. The zoom on this thing is amazing. Well, this is the highlight of the Chicago deck. I'm not looking down yet. I'll show you why. Have a look what's below my feet. What do you think of that? Pretty cool, eh? I'll see you! It's a huge city, eh? As far as the eye can see. What a beautiful view. We're heading back down to the ground now. See the design of the doors? That's to stop the warm air escaping. Because at no time does air get in or out. It carries through a little pocket of air, but that's not enough to affect the air conditioning. Very clever invention, that.
always miss places, man. Don't I look rough?
Hey, I'm back at the hotel. I'm going to warm up a bit before going out again to get something to eat. They've done a nice job of making up the bed for me, so I'll have a really good night's sleep tonight. Well, here I am again, trying to find something to eat. Here's a place I might get something. Those things actually change colour, like the CN Tower. Just waiting for the light to change. Come on. It's cold out here. I finally got chicken noodle soup with some bread, a Valentine cookie and a Dr. Pepper. So this looks really good. And there's even a little fireplace there, which is good because it's really cold outside. It's negative 13 Celsius, which is about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. But it's lovely and warm in here. Well, that was really nice. All that for $7 something. Much better than the breakfast I had this morning. It's only negative 13, but it feels much colder. There's a bit of wind around. That's probably why. It's that time again. Time for me to say goodnight to you all. So, from Chicago, Illinois, good night and God bless.